Okay, I've been meaning to do a review of the AJS Eco for some time now, so last got round to it. You can see it's a reasonably smart looking bike, not bad for a cheap Chinese import. I paid with trading about £1,500 for this. Also 125 engine, very easy to maintain. Plus points and negatives. Okay, the headlamp isn't particularly powerful. I put a brighter bulb in it, 35 watt, which is the biggest you can put in, and it doesn't really light up particularly well in the winter and in the night time. So I put extra spotlights on, as you can see here. I mounted them onto the suspension, which you wouldn't ordinarily do, but they're very high up and it doesn't actually impede their movement. The spotlights I put on as well, strobe, which when you're walking through traffic or driving through traffic filtering, as you can see, are quite intense and definitely catch your attention. I've also added some grip protectors here. Got these on eBay, changed it at £10 I think. These light up quite well. I've actually put some LEDs on the end as well, but unfortunately they've blown. I haven't got around to changing them yet. But again, anything for extra visibility on this thing, because it's not the brightest bulb out there. One negative I've already mentioned is the chain in the previous video, that it gets quite loose quite quickly, a bit like a rubber band really. Needs adjusting once every 4,000 miles minimum, 4,000 kilometres or 8,000 kilometres, depending on how you ride. I've added a back box on mine to give me some storage for my crash helmet or sandwiches or laptop, whichever's more important. Just give me that little bit of extra space. The tyres that come with the bike originally are very, very cheap and poor quality. So the first thing I did when I bought the bike is I changed them, because they're a bit more decent. The ones that were on there are a bit plasticky. Put some decent rubber ones on, worth the 75 quid spend. Fairly decent brakes, got me out of trouble a few times. Unfortunately once, when I had them adjusted recently, new brakes put on, hit them a bit hard on the front and came off on a patch of oil. Having said that, the bike seemed to fare quite well, no major damage. And when I originally got it, about 113 to the gallon, which was exceptional. Now I'm getting about 100 to the gallon, which I do a 33-mile trip to work each day, full throttle most of the way, and 33 miles back obviously, and it's holding up. Now done about, I can't remember now, about 24,000 kilometres I think. Correction, 26,500 kilometres. Servicing intervals for this are really quite high. 4,000 kilometres is the recommendation while it's under warranty, and I would do that within about 5 or 6 weeks, so not particularly cost effective. But the bike is now out of warranty, so I'm now servicing myself, oil changes, all that kind of stuff. Fairly easy to do, and the manual is reasonable for that. As you can see, I put heated grips on as well, because I do ride it all year round, and the battery copes really well with all the extras I've put on. You can see I've got these grips on the front with lights in, I've got these spotlights here, and the heated grips. The battery will be flat by the time I get to work, if I've got all of them on at the same time, but the dynamo, if that's the correct word, will keep the bike running. But of course you've got a kickstart, so if the bike is flat, not a problem, and it all starts on first kick. Overall the running costs have been quite high. Servicing is typically between £150 to £180, and if you're doing it every 6 weeks, it adds a lot of cost to the first year's motoring. Recommendation, I'll probably buy something a bit more expensive next time with a lower servicing requirement, perhaps something about 8 or 12,000 miles, something a bit bigger and heavier duty, maybe a branded bike. Overall though, for the cost of the bike and the cost of the first year's running, been very happy with it, and it hasn't let me down yet. Happy motoring and be safe.